Once upon a time, there was a family who lived in a big house, all by itself, in the middle of great big woods. There was Mummy. She was very beautiful. Everyone loved her, especially Uncle Harold. He wasn't my real uncle, just make-believe. Mummy made people laugh because she was so happy herself. Then there was Daddy. He was very handsome and very kind. Everybody said that about him. And last of all, because she was the youngest, there was Susan. She had no brothers or sisters, so she was on her own a lot. But she didn't mind this because she had her own special house in the woods that her daddy had built for her when she was a very little girl. Sometimes, when the grown-ups were all busy, Susan would go there and do what she liked most of all.
You moved again, Pim. You keep doing that, I'll never get this picture finished. Now sit still, all of you. Hello. Would you like me to draw your picture? This one isn't finished yet, but I'm sure they won't mind. Who is it? I can't see with the sun like that. Who is it? Who are you?
Still don't understand why you wouldn't let me come over to Switzerland for you. We could have spent a couple of weeks and traveled all over Europe.
Oh, I would have loved it. But Dr. Schweitzman thought it was best that I come alone.
I still think I should have traveled with you.
Mother, you fuss too much.
I know I do. But it's only because I love you and I want to take care of you.
And I love you, too. How is everyone at the house?
Fine. I gave the staff a couple of weeks off. I thought it would be a good idea if we had a little time to spend together alone.
Harold will have us both waiting on him hand and foot.
No chance.
How is he?
Fine.
Is he still drinking?
How did you know he was drinking?
Well, I remember last summer when you both came to visit me at the clinic. I can't remember. Did Daddy drink?
Yes, he did. But he could handle his liquor.
Mother, why did you marry Harold?
Oh, after your father died, you were away in Switzerland. I don't know, I was lonely, I suppose. Harold was very kind. Not the most perfect grounds for a marriage, is it?
But he loves you.
That he does. Now, that's enough about Harold. You're the one that's important. I'm going to fatten you up and buy you lots of pretty clothes. Darling, it is wonderful to have you home. His name is John, in case you forgot.
Oh, Mother. John, how marvelous to see you again.
Welcome home, Miss Susan.
Thank you. Oh, it's so good to be home.
The place hasn't been the same since without you here, Mrs. Jennings.
I've given Miss Susan the blue room. Would you take her bags up, please?
Right away.
He's been like a cat on hot bricks ever since I told him you were coming home. You must be desperately tired.
Oh, I slept a little on the thing.
Well?
It feels smaller somehow.
Oh, it's the same size, I assure you.
You're back, then. I said, you're back, then,
Hello, Harold.
my dear.
Doesn't she look marvelous?
She looks older.
I am older.
So am I, my dear. A lifetime older. And wiser. Oh, would you care for a drink?
No, thank you.
Then you won't mind if I... Ladies?
I'll take you to your room. I didn't give you your old room back. I thought, oh, maybe some bad memories.
No bad memories, Mother.
I was going to...
What?
It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does. Now, we mustn't leave anything unsaid.
I was going to have the playhouse demolished. I talked to Dr. Schweitzman about it, but he said I was not to. Oh, are these your toilet articles?
I know. It's part of his grand design, the complete rehabilitation of Susan Wilcox.
I hope he knows what he's doing.
Well, he's known for a long time now, hasn't he? I mean, he did bring me back to sanity.
Darling, you weren't insane. You were suffering from shock.
Mother, I was catatonic. I didn't speak for 2 years, and I screamed blue bloody murder every time anyone came near me.
Oh, Susan, don't, please.
You know, Dr. Schweitzman says that it's not beyond the bounds of possibility that I might remember the man who attacked me. He says that my failure to recognize him could have been mental rather than action.
I didn't want you to come home. I mean, I wanted you to, of course, but I just didn't think it was such a good idea.
I know he told me. But here I am, and you'll have to make the best of me.
Darling, I love you, and I'm happy and glad that you're home. If I keep this up, my mascara is going to run. All right, what would you like to do now?
Well, I'd like to have a nice long bath and a rest.
Shall I wake you for dinner?
If I'm sleeping, no, please.
All right. ask.
Damn sight too much.
Then I won't ask, Harold. I'll tell you. Now that Susan's home, I will not stand for you drinking like this.
Ultimatums at this hour?
I can forgive your drinking, but I won't stand for your drunkenness around my daughter. Where are you going?
What do you care?
Harold had to go away on a business trip for a few days.
Oh.
He asked me to apologize to you for not saying goodbye.
That was a bit sudden, wasn't it?
It happened. Now, what would you like to do today?
Well, I thought that I would wander around and revisit some old memories.
Don't do too much all at once.
Mother, I won't.
If you need me, darling, I'll be right here reading.
See you later. Morning, John.
Morning, Miss Susan. Did you sleep well last night?
Yes, thank you. Your roses, they're really lovely.
Your mother's favorites. Miss Susan.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'd better get on with my work.
All right. Who's there?
Susan, what's the matter? What's the matter?
There was a man in the woods following me.
Who?
I don't know why I called out, but
Did you see him?
no, but he was there.
Darling, are you all right?
Yeah, yes. Oh, it was probably just a trespasser wandered in from the main road.
Probably.
Have you heard from Harold?
No, I haven't. Would you help me with the bed, dear?
But doesn't he usually call you when he goes away?
He doesn't usually go away. Why the sudden interest?
Just curious.
About Harold?
He is my stepfather.
Oh, technically. Anyhow, I haven't heard from him, and I really don't expect to.
Why?
We haven't been getting along too well lately.
Well, why not?
I don't know. I suppose it's because we don't try hard enough, either one of us. We just don't seem to be able to communicate.
You know, at first I thought it was Harold in the woods today.
Harold?
I don't know why.
Susan, are you sure there was anyone there at all?
Mother, I heard someone.
Yes, but couldn't it have been, the wind in the branches, an animal, or perhaps your own imagination?
No, there was someone there, I know it.
Well, I know that's what you think. But... Susan, you said this morning you thought perhaps it might be a trespasser who had wandered in from the main road.
Yes.
Well, you can't get to the woods from the main road.
Who's there? Who's there? Harold? Oh, no.
No, relax.
Let me
No, now, you take it easy. There's nothing to worry about.
Who are you?
Dr. Lomas. Michael? Oh, I suppose you don't remember. I used to be dragged to your folks' parties. The mother sent for me. Now, look, everything is going to be all right.
Harold.
What about Harold? Well, now, you take it easy.
I saw.
Well, what did you see?
Nothing.
Your mother's very worried about you. May she come in?
Yes.
Come in. She's fine.
Darling, what happened? I heard a scream. I broke in here and found you on the bathroom floor.
I slipped and banged my head.
Oh, poor baby. Will she be all right?
Oh, she's going to be fine. It's just a bump on the head. You come and visit me tomorrow. We don't want to risk the chance of a latent concussion. Oh, you stay here. I can find my way out.
I'd like to speak to you for a few minutes. I'll be right back, darling.
I spoke to your Dr. Schweitzman last night.
You did? Why?
Mother asked me to. She's very concerned about you.
I banged my head. It didn't need a call to Switzerland.
How did you bang your head?
I walked into the door.
You know, to get a lump that size, you must have run into the door full tilt. Now, something frightened you.
No.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it did. You saw something in the bathroom. You began to tell me about it last night. Now, what was it?
Nothing. May I go now?
Certainly. There's nothing the matter with you whatsoever. Get me Miriam Jennings, please.
Good morning, darling. Didn't you hear me knock?
Mother, there was a man in the garden last night. I'm sure I saw him.
Why didn't you call me?
Well, I was going to, but when I looked again, he was gone.
That's the second time you've thought you've seen someone. Susan, I think we have to consider whether this whole thing was such a good idea after all.
What thing?
You're coming home. Now, let me finish. I know what Dr. Schweitzman said, but maybe he was wrong. I talked to Dr. Loomis, and he agrees with me.
Mother, he's known me for 10 minutes. I've been with Dr. Schweitzman for 7 years.
I know. But maybe it takes someone who's not quite so involved.
What are you suggesting, that I leave? And go where? Back to Switzerland?
Oh, no. We can go any place you like. New York, Hawaii, Mexico. We could even take a trip around the world. Why don't we? It would be good for both of us.
Mother, now you've got to understand I've worked for 7 years to reach this stage. If I leave this house now, I'll never be able to come back. This is my only chance. Please.
All right. I guess I'll just have to settle for San Francisco. Hurry and get dressed.
Oh, Mother, I'd rather not.
Susan, we have all that shopping to do for you.
You shop for me, size 8.
I will not go without you, and I will not leave you here all day alone.
Well, if you're worried about my being alone, you drive yourself and let John
Oh,
stay
Susan.
here. No, you've got nothing to worry about. Now, off you go.
Now, you sure you'll be all right?
Mother.
I'll be back as soon as I can. Bye.
Bye.
Good morning, Miss Susan.
Oh, good morning, John.
Beautiful day.
Yes. Where are you going with the gun?
Down to the woods. There's a fox down there. She's killing all the young pheasants. I'm going to shoot her.
Oh, no, don't do that.
She's killing the young birds.
Please, at least for today.
Of course. If that's what you want.
John, how long have you been with us?
It must be 18 years now. I came here first to work for your father. I remember when you were a little girl, he used to carry you on his shoulder around the garden. You were always laughing together. It was a happy house in those days.
Why did you stay on after he died?
Your mother needed me. This is a big place. She couldn't run it by herself.
This Harold.
No disrespect, Brent, but I don't think he loves this place like your mother does. He'd just as soon see the place sold.
Well, is that such a bad idea?
Miss Susan, that is not something to joke about. You should be very proud to live in a house like that, Miss Susan. Very proud. John speaking.
John, it's Susan.
Oh, yes, Miss Susan.
Did my mother say what time she'd be back this evening?
No, miss, she didn't.
Oh, well, did she make any plans for dinner?
Yes. She said there was some cold cuts and some salad in the refrigerator.
Oh, all right. Thank you.
Miss Susan.
He's staring. He's sitting, and he's dead. He's
what's the
dead.
matter?
Harold's dead.
Miss Susan,
Harold's
who?
dead. You've got to come.
I've seen him twice, and both times he was dead.
What makes you think he was dead?
He was dead, I saw him.
Like the man in the woods?
No, I haven't seen him, but I knew he was there. And there was someone in the house.
Who?
Oh, I've never seen him. I've just heard him breathing.
Breathing?
It was the same as...
The same as what?
It's when I was a little girl.
The day you were attacked?
Uh-huh.
Well, what does that tell you?
What?
Well, you are back where it all happened. And everything around you, everything, must stimulate your memories. Must make your subconscious relive the moment.
Are you saying that I'm imagining all these things?
Look, I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm just asking you to be logical. Look, you saw Harold dead in the bathtub, then he disappeared. Then you saw him dead again in the car, he disappeared again. Now, is that logical? I am suggesting that perhaps Harold has taken your father's place by marrying Miriam. Perhaps your subconscious rejects the idea. Perhaps so much so that it wants Harold to be the one who raped you. It wants Harold to be dead. Well, would you at least consider the possibility?
Thank you, Doctor.
Susan. It will take time. Come and see me whenever you want. Even if it is my day off.
Susan, where have you been? I've been looking all over for you.
Just went for a drive.
Well, you should have left me a note or something. I've been frantic.
I'm sorry, Mother.
You sure you're all right?
I'm sure.
Back to the kitchen for me. I'm barbecuing hamburgers and baking beans.
Can I help?
Don't you dare. That kitchen looks like World War III hit it.
Excuse me, ma'am. I thought I'd go down to the woods. That fox is still about.
I'll come with you.
Well, I won't get very much shooting done with you around.
I know. That's why I'm coming with you.
Work up a good appetite. I've got hamburgers stacked to the ceiling.
Your mother worries about you. She's a lovely lady, and she loves you very much.
I know, but sometimes she treats me as though I was still only 12 years old.
But you were sick, and she doesn't want you to take any chances.
John, let's go this way.
No, miss. Your mother...
Please, come on. You were here that day, weren't you?
What day?
The day I was attacked.
Please, miss. Yes.
Tell me about it.
I'd rather not. Your mother...
My mother said that whatever happens, don't remind Susan of the day that she was raped.
Please, miss.
But don't you understand? I want to be reminded of it. That's the reason I came home. You were the one who found me, weren't you?
Yes. Your father called me. You disappeared from the party, and he was worried. He asked me to look for you. I found you here.
That's all?
That's all. I carried you back to the house. I didn't even know if you were still breathing. You left the house that same night. I never saw you again. Until the other day.
Did you see Harold that day?
He was at the party.
I know that, but did you see him there?
He was there. Miss Susan. Miss Susan. Please, miss, come away from here.
I went to the playhouse today.
You did what?
My dolls are still there.
You went inside? Darling, why torment yourself?
No, I'm glad I went. I was in the playhouse, and I felt nothing other than a sort of detached interest. Now, that's good. That's very good. It means that Dr. Schweitzman was right.
Well, darling, Dr. Schweitzman may be right in making you revisit this place with all its memories, but I'm not so sure.
But, Mother, I told you how I felt in the playhouse. I know I'm getting better.
All right. But if you were really getting better, how do you explain these hallucinations you've been having? Oh, I grant you. You may have seen somebody in the woods or the garden. It's not likely, but it's possible. But how do you explain the other things? Seeing Harold dead in the bathtub, dead in the car outside, and this fixation that someone is following you around the house at night.
Dr. Lomas has been talking to you.
Well, of course he has.
He shouldn't have.
After all, I am your mother.
He still shouldn't have told you.
Well, he did, and the only reason I'm bringing it up is because I'm still very worried about you.
Mother, hasn't it ever occurred to you that perhaps I am not imagining these things?
Of course it hasn't. Hello. Oh, yes, Harold. Oh, well, let's just forget the whole thing. Harold, Susan is here. Would you speak to her, please? Speak to Harold.
Hello?
Hello, Susan. All right?
I'm fine, thank you.
That's good. I'll be home tomorrow. Go put your mother back.
Yes, all right.
Yes. Mm-hmm. No, I will pick you up myself. All right, goodbye. We're picking him up at the airfield tomorrow. Harold is coming home tomorrow.
Yes, I know. He told me.
Susan, are you ready? But darling, you're not dressed. Harold's plane gets in less than an hour.
I'm not going, Mother.
All right, then I won't go either. I'll send John.
No, I've caused you enough trouble already.
Oh, Susan.
Come on now, or you'll be late.
All right. We'll come straight home.
Okay, goodbye. Hello? Oh, hello, Dr. Lomas. No, she's just left for the airport. What? Yes? All right.
Miriam, Harold is dead.
Oh, my God. Oh. Oh. My poor little girl. My poor little girl.
She can't hear you. She's in deep shock.
Can't you do anything?
I'll drive her to the hospital, and then I must tell the police.
The police? Why?
Because there's been a killing.
Yes, but she...
Miriam, the police have to know. I'll try to keep everything as simple as possible.
What will they do to her?
I'll keep them fully informed as to her condition, and I'm sure that in good time they will send her back to Dr. Schweitzman for treatment.
Oh, no.
No, please, Miriam.
No.
Let her go. Let her go. Yes.
Where is it? Now, John, what are you going to do with it?
Chop him up, then burn him, like you said.
Good.
Now,
The sooner the better.
Mrs. Jennings, is everything going to be all right?
Oh, don't worry, John. Didn't everything go as I promised? After you frightened Susan in the woods, she ran into the playhouse. She found your gun just as we planned. And when I brought Harold home, Dr. Loomis was here. It went even better. Michael, what a pleasant surprise.
Miriam, hello, Howard. I called Susan earlier, and she sounded very upset, so I came right over, but I can't find her anywhere.
Did you check the summer house?
No, I haven't.
Harold, would you please?
Right away.
Michael, you come with me. After you've finished with that, come over to the house. I want to talk to you. Nothing has changed, you understand that.
Yes, Mrs. Jennings.
The only difference now is we are secure, you and I. Susan will spend the rest of her life in Switzerland. She will never come back here.
And the house?
Everything will stay exactly as it is. There's nothing anyone can do. Susan will never be fit to inherit anything. And the house, everything is mine now. The trust will continue to pay for its upkeep as it has done in the past. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am. Mrs. Jennings,
Yes?
Miss Susan,
What about her?
she'll be all right.
You're concerned?
Yes, I am. I was very fond of Miss Susan.
Fond enough to assault her when she was 13 years old?
You said you'd not bring that up.
I've kept quiet about it for the past 7 years, haven't I?
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm quite capable of keeping quiet about it for the next 7, unless you give me reasons why I shouldn't.
I'll not do that.
Of course you wouldn't. And to answer your question, yes, Miss Susan is fine. She was happy before in Switzerland, and she will be happy again.
He shouldn't have done it.
Who?
Her father. Leaving everything to her like he did. If he hadn't...
But he did, John, he did. I loved that man. I really, truly loved him. I gave him everything I had to give. He was my whole existence, and that's the way I wanted it. He was the only one who ever meant anything at all to me. And we were happy. Oh, we were so very, very happy. Until Susan. After she was born, he didn't even know I existed. It was Susan this, Susan that, Susan... I didn't know it was possible for a mother to be jealous of her own child. And that day in the summer house, I was glad it happened, my own child, and I was glad. Oh, God, I hated her. You may go, John.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello, Miriam.
Who's this?
Don't you know?
Who is this?
It's Harold. Do you miss me?
Who is this?
It's Harold.
John?
Not John, my darling. It's your husband. And I'm coming home very soon.
Mrs. Jennings, I forgot...
What the hell do you think you're doing?
I'm sorry, I
Don't tell me it wasn't you on this phone just now.
No, it wasn't me.
You're a liar. You're a liar. Get out. Get out. Hello.
Hello, Miriam.
Listen, if you don't...
Go to the window, Miriam.
I told you to destroy that dummy.
Yes, ma'am, I did.
You're a liar.
No, ma'am, I was going to burn it in the morning.
You made 2 of them.
No, ma'am, you
How
told me...
dare you disobey me? How dare you?
Mrs. Jennings, I never...
I want you out of here. Do you understand? You pack your things and get out of here first thing in the morning.
Leave this house? Where can I go?
I don't give a damn where you go. If you're not out of here by noon, I'll call the police.
But I haven't done anything.
Criminal assault on a 13-year-old?
You promised me you would never tell anybody. Anyway, you can't call the police. Not after what you've done.
What have I done?
You killed Mr. Harold.
Oh, no, John. I didn't kill anyone. Susan killed Harold. She was driven to it by you.
But it was your idea. I only did what you told me to do.
Oh, John. Who would believe you? I'm her mother. You have until noon. Yes?
This is John. I'm leaving now. When I get a place to live, I'll come back for the rest of my things.
I don't give a damn what you do. Who's there?
We're alone now, Miriam. Just you and I.
Who's there? Who's there? back again.
Who's there? I know somebody's in here. Come out! Come out! I know somebody's in here.
Harold and I knew they were up to something, but we couldn't figure out what it was. Then when John left his gun at the playhouse, we began to get the idea.
I've known him for years. He would never, never be so careless with a loaded gun.
Well, why didn't you call us then?
And tell you what, John has left a gun out so that Susan can conveniently find it just in time to shoot me?
When Miriam left for the airport, I called Susan. I told her I'd been in touch with Harold and what we suspected.
So we substituted blanks in the gun and went ahead and acted out the charade.
Susan?
Well, once she knew that we believed her, that she wasn't hallucinating, she agreed to go ahead with the plan.
Oh, needless to say, the shooting of John was not part of it. All we wanted was to frighten Miriam, just to get at the truth.
Will she be all right now?
Of course. Well, it's been a great shock, but at least this is something real. This is something her mind can cope with.
Why didn't you die?